So what grade would you give me now? You've been grading
Oh
me
yes,
all
I've been
along.
grading.
You've been grading me.
I've been grading you from day one
That's
up to now. You went from a B to an A plus 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 plus. Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? We are here once again coming to you from Ghana in West Africa, and we're wrapping up another Maximum Impact Travel Experience, and I have none other. See, you already know where this is going, everybody. I have none other than Rose Edwards, and she's coming to us by way of South Carolina, DC, North Carolina, and she tapped into her inner Nigerian while she was here.
No.
Rose,
No.
I want to thank you for being a part of this experience and, just taking some time to have this conversation because you had a great time, I believe.
Yes.
And you are a well-traveled person. You've been so many different places,
Yes,
but you decided to come to Ghana.
Correct.
And so tell me why you decided to come to Ghana.
I came to Ghana because this was the first time I just celebrated my birthday.
Yes, you did.
Yesterday.
Yes.
And I mapped it out where I wanted to go. I've been to South Africa, but I go there for the jazz festival. So with the pandemic, I was like, okay, let me tap into my roots.
That inner Nigerian. No,
Yeah.
but we in Ghana.
No,
right?
we're not going to go there. That's what you gave me.
It is.
So I did some research. Not only research, I also did a lot of YouTubing, and I came across you.
You came across me on
Yes,
YouTube?
yes.
Really?
Far as connecting, we all watch a lot of YouTube during the pandemic, but you got to really pay attention to what people are saying. And if they tell you they've actually walked through it before they sponsor their tour, that kind of catches you like, okay, let me go through all
my stuff.
Yeah, go through it all. And I was pleased.
All right.
I've seen others, but your connection, not only that, with the Gullah Geechee.
There it is.
Also, all your travels and trying to connect the diaspora with the continent.
Right.
So I understood.
And you understood the DMV too.
Right.
You got the
and
DMV.
I'm from, I went to
DC.
school, and I love DC. So I knew we were both talking the same language.
Yes.
And this was a pretty much good opportunity for me to explore. And I said, okay, why not? Let's go to Ghana first.
So what has your experience been like since you've been here? I mean, you came, you saw the YouTube videos, because people can say anything on video, and then once they get you there, then it becomes something
honestly, different. Everything that you said came true. From the moment we've stepped foot, landed to Ghana, up until this day point now.
Oh, wow.
Everything was of value. Truth, honesty, and a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So what grade would you give me now? You've been grading me
yes,
all
I've been
along.
grading.
You've been grading me.
I've been grading you from day one up to now. You went from a B to an A plus 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 plus. Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute now. We got to take another COVID test? I was like, did he really tell us that?
I did.
Yeah, and I didn't pay attention.
I
didn't pay attention.
I'm seeing that. I'm seeing a pattern here.
I didn't pay attention because when I read, I skim.
Okay. And then you found out, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But you saw, but I did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But
how'd you like the group?
The group that I'm actually a part of couldn't ask for nothing better. It was the first time we all met, and we all hit it off. It's only 7 of us. And we have the youngest one, 24. We call her baby girl. So she learned a lot, and also we learned a lot from each other.
Right.
Yolanda is the oldest.
See, why are you putting people out there like that? Why are you?
No, I'm just saying
Yeah,
for experience.
Okay.
For experience. So we've all learned something from each other, and we had a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
It's so much
Even
fun.
though we had to watch you sometime with that camera, because you put us out there.
I did.
Yeah.
You and your shopping skills, when you would negotiate with people, and you and I joke about your inner Nigerian, but it's like you tapped into this thing when you went shopping.
Yes.
And you had my man fumbled. He couldn't get his words right. He was like,
I knew what I wanted.
You knew what you wanted.
I knew what I wanted, what I was going to pay for. If he wasn't going to work with me, okay, give me my money back. We move on to the next. It's more than one person out there to shop from.
It showed up is. And he found that out.
Yes, he did.
He gonna learn today.
Yes. And he came back.
He did. Did you work a deal with him?
I worked a deal with him, even though you made a comment at the end.
Because he probably wouldn't.
Well, yeah, he really did win, but
you both won. And,
yes,
and
we
you
did.
were able to bring the resources and share those resources. Why do you think it's so important for people to come to Ghana and West Africa? Because, even though we may not, I know I'm of Ghanaian descent as well, but everybody might not be from Ghana, but there's history here that's relevant to everyone, no matter where they descend from in Africa because of where people migrated from. But why do you think it's important for people to at least have this experience?
Well, I'm going to have to speak for myself.
Sure.
I was asleep mentally until the age of 15. But I was quiet.
You got out early then.
I got out early,
Yeah.
but I had to be silent because my favorite thing growing up, and I'm quite sure my family will vouch for it, is always why. Because I wanted to know
The
why.
never-ending question is why.
And some of the answers never sat well with me. So I knew for a fact what I had to do was seek my own journey, and sometimes you have to be really low-key with it because...
Why do you have to be low-key with it?
Because, like I said, I woke up early.
Right, so you were still a child.
I was still a child, so I had to do my own research, which basically is reading.
Got it.
The basic thing is read and understand. And once you comprehend, and as you start talking to other people, they're looking at you a little different, like, what are you talking about? But you're young. That's moved maybe a couple of steps ahead of somebody else.
Right, so you have to dial it back.
Right, so you pretty much got to balance. I had to balance myself when they're older and they give me their opinion, and after I read it and understood, I'm like, no, that's not it. So pretty much that was my journey. So I've been traveling a long time to international places, a lot of international places. The Far East, Middle East, everywhere. But along that journey, I look for history. I don't want nobody else to tell me. It's just, I'll give you an example. When I went to a concert in Kentucky, I came a day early to go to Muhammad Ali's museum.
Okay.
So I try to find out what that particular place, get their version versus what I've been told from the media. So you can pretty much follow their history. So once I got into Kentucky and followed Muhammad Ali's, the museum is awesome. I got a different perspective than what was told about him.
But isn't that
he was already heading that direction.
But that's interesting because because there are people who will get on social media and try to tell me what I've seen.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, you have not seen what I've said.
Right,
How
right.
you gonna tell me what I've seen?
Right.
And then tell me what I've seen is wrong.
Right.
But they have not ventured into these places to see. So when you go, because there's history all over, like you said.
All over.
I found history in Louisiana. I found history
Yes.
in Ghana. I found history in Dubai, of all places.
Yes.
And so it's like, when you're talking, it's so inspiring because you're one of the few people who says, I'm willing to go see for myself. It was like, I would listen to you talk and I would hear myself. And I said, I'm not the only one. And that's what you brought to this trip.
But the funny thing about it all is having to silence yourself against someone who's never traveled before that tells you something totally different. So you have choices. Do you want to make it a combative relationship and say, hey, I know, such and such, or you just chill, let it happen, agree, and you move on. See, you have choices.
Yeah.
And I chose to be silent. No problem. I respect your opinion, but I know better. So why would I try to force myself for you to understand when I was like, okay, no problem. And it usually mellows out. You're good.
Yeah.
Like, they feel happy after the fact and you was like, okay, no problem. Because for me, I'm not forced to make you say something totally different when you don't know.
Yeah.
I can only show you. And most of my journey, I show my pictures with me, try to make me out of it, just to show you the journey that I'm going on. And if you're my Facebook friend, they would tell you that they enjoyed the journey, and I don't understand. You can come out of that sitting there watching my journey, enjoying
and have your own.
Right.
But sometimes I believe that's what we're doing. I believe as we are sharing these stories, having these conversations, there's a curiosity that is awakening inside of people. And they're saying, you know what, I think I need to go see for myself, because that's the recurring theme. For you at 15, you understood something was off.
Yeah, I knew.
And you've traveled. And so
I
you
knew.
know. So there's nothing anybody can tell you to say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, they can say that.
Right.
But it doesn't change who you are. And you as a person have, how this is a good question. How have your travels changed you as a person?
It connected the dots. That's all I can say. It connected the dots. This is my thing. Travel is to live. Live is to travel. That's the only thing I can sum it up for.
And that's what you've done. I mean, because you've been to all these different places. And I knew that when you gave me the A++++, and
yes, I did.
And you're all over the world.
Yeah.
I said, we in the pocket. That's a DC term. You're in the pocket. That's the go-go thing. I said, we in the pocket right now. Because one of the things that really stood out with this trip, and I asked you, am I correct? Several times, you actually did this by yourself? Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
So I do
all the tours before I take anybody. Absolutely.
And that inspired me. I was like, okay, especially the beds.
Right, I knew what the beds were going to be like.
I was like, oh, he hitting it. Yeah, this is really, really good here, because I understood what you meant, and it was so important, because when you say Americanized, we have our standard.
Right.
And we're not coming too far up under that standard.
Especially on the first trip.
And having that security as far as laying your head.
Yeah.
That was the epitome of the trip. Because, am I right? Once we left out of the hotel, what's the first thing we said?
How did you sleep?
Man, the beds was awesome.
And it was, and to that point, it's so important for people to understand that. Because did you ever feel fear while you were here?
No. But see, I travel.
You travel, but you know the stuff, but it's like...
the biggest thing is, if I don't care where you came from, the city, anywhere, you have to have both common sense
Right.
and street
Yeah, street
sense.
sense.
If you take those two with you, you can travel any place you want to go. You don't have to be afraid. You know, you can. It's you. You can say what, like talked about the buying, my little excursion of buying things.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
said in my mind, I'm a math person. So if I already calculated my money, I can't. I have a budget. I know what I'm supposed to spend each day. I set it in my mind, and I know as doing the travel list, all the places you're taking us. Then in my mind, I was like, okay, I can only spend this on these particular days. So as they came up, yeah, we both have to negotiate.
Yes.
Because I can't spend all my money in that one day,
Right.
and I got a couple more.
And keep going to the ATM.
Tim, right. And so you have your own, use your voice, you know, like I did. But you follow what I'm saying.
I'm with you.
And you use those two, you succeed. Some common sense
And some street sense.
and some street sense. Yes, there's always going to be fear, but
you can find that anywhere.
You're not. Why let that overtake your journey?
Yeah.
You know, just be conscious.
Because that's
from
the number
your
one
surroundings.
Because the number one thing that people will say is that when you start talking about Africa, for be safe, be safe, be safe.
Yeah.
But it's like you come here and you're like,
I had the most awesome, beautiful time.
talk to our young people, and why they need to because
my girls travel.
All right.
I must say they actually travel.
Your daughters.
Yes.
Yes.
I still call them my girls.
Your babies.
Yeah. No fear, none whatsoever. Prime example, my middle one was supposed to have the traditional marriage.
Mm-hmm.
We put the deposit, and then all of a sudden she said, I'm going to Ethiopia and get married. Yes, first thing that came to my mind is this girl has lost her mind because we've already put money
down to do it one particular way.
And it ended up where we all traveled to Ethiopia.
And isn't Ethiopia beautiful?
Beautiful.
But they tell us on late night television, everybody's poor, sick, dying, and all that other kind of stuff.
And the most, the good part about it is we didn't stay with the tourists. We stayed with the village. We stayed inside the village. So we got to not only experience the true value of history there. We had our own personal guide, which was a little young guy, and we had one for each family member. So we had my son-in-law, my daughter, my other daughter, me and my husband. We all had our guide. The beautiful thing about it is they know their history from the time they were born up until now, and they're young kids.
And they understood their history. Unlike many of
we have to travel to kind of understand our own history.
Yeah.
And
so that's why it's important
it's definitely important for us to travel and never be afraid.
And at a young age, I think that's the part, because you started and you're a different person.
I woke up and the reason why I say I woke up at 15 is I went to Burdick Vocational High School in DC. It was an all-girls school. We had a history teacher. Her name was Ruth Worthy, who introduced us to racism.
And this is DCPS, right?
Yes, public school.
That's right.
And we were the only high schoolers. You got to remember, I was born in October, so I was always a year behind everybody.
Yeah, you were late year.
Yeah, late. Yeah. So we teamed up with Maryland University, social, political thing against racism, and we took a bus from D.C. straight to Boston, Massachusetts, and
You saw some things.
yeah, saw some things.
But you were traveling even then,
yes,
even within the United States, because travel is important, regardless of whether it's international travel or domestic travel.
Yes,
because there's education, but a lot of our communities stay within the block.
Right.
Within, a lot of people in D.C. never left Southeast to even go to Southwest or Northwest. They know the carry out, they know the liquor store, they might know the church on the corner, or they might know some,
And then if they did travel, they traveled real late in life. They start branching out, taking a chance. It just happened that I started early, and I was introduced to some things that politics, racism, just some things. And I'm always a inquisitive person.
Yes, I know.
Because I need to know why and for what.
That's
you
it.
know, and this was a wake-up call when you can actually stand on the grounds where our ancestors were all in one single place with no facility to go to the bathroom, to do anything. So you ate and went to the vomit, you went to the bathroom, confined in one single place. And you're standing there, and they preserved it.
Yeah.
For you, when you visit, that's a chilling factor. It's very chilling. But other than that, it was a mind-blowing, to really understand what's going on, understand.
Well, I'm gonna say
but
this.
I'm grateful, and you did a hell of a job.
Thank you so much.
You did a hell of a job.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
just like that. I believe
you did a hell of a job because you kept us safe. And if you really understand traveling, safety is number one. And laying your head is still number one.
They're right there side by side.
Yeah, they're side by side, and everything else will fall into play with your common sense.
Yeah, your street sense.
And your street sense. You use those two, you can maneuver this whole world, and you will be respected from the people that you went up against, because you will see them again.
Oh, I see them all the time, so I know what you're talking about.
You will see them again.
And they respect you. Your family respects
you
you
they
now.
will respect you, and to be honest with you, we received some paintings free of charge from the guy in the hotel.
What?
Yeah.
This
morning at breakfast, because I told him when I first got here, I was like, no, too much.
And so he finally said, here you go.
And he came to the table.
You see, you tapped into that inner Nigerian and got yourself something for free. Let me find out.
I'm being honest.
Come on, Nigeria.
He came over to the table. He said, I have something for y'all too. And we went over, and he gave us he said pick out 2 paintings. And he knew we were leaving today. He explained, because I wanted to know, how you know we leaving today? You know more about me than I know about you.
Yeah.
So he said he knew we were leaving, told us pick out 2 paintings, which was excellent.
Isn't that something?
And I put it out to my friends and family that follows me. If you can tell me the number of places I've actually been using my passport, I'm giving one out to a male and I'm giving one out to a female. And those are his paintings that he gave to me free.
Wow.
So I'm giving that out. Just to kind of, instead of keep following my journey, maybe you may want to join me on my journey.
So where can people find you?
I'm not really out there.
Okay.
I have a close net.
Okay, well, you want to put it out there? I'll put it in the link.
I tell you what, January the 1st, I'm coming out with my own blog, and which I'm going to talk about life, jazz, and travel.
Life, jazz, and travel. I like that.
And that's the name of my blog, is Life, Jazz, and Travel. And those are the 3 things that I've done all my life. I can't give you nothing I've never experienced. So I must thank you for doing your due diligence, which kind of inspired, yes, I'm on the right track, because I'm actually moving in the right direction, because I'm talking about life, but I'm talking about my life. I love jazz, and I travel to a lot of jazz events, and I travel.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving you nothing just out of the top of my head. I'm giving you my experience, so you can make your own journey, and that's it.
So there you have it, Life, Jazz, and Travel with Rose Edwards. Well, I want to thank you for, one, and I always say this, trust me with this journey, because I know as a well-seasoned traveler, you know what to look for, and I don't take it lightly.
No, you
you've
don't.
given me such a high rating, and I'm glad that you had this experience that you can share, continue to share, and that's what we have to do, and that's what we do here, and to be able to bridge that gap.
And you, honestly, yes, you deserve all those A and all those pluses, because the main thing was looking out for our safety. But you know, one thing I've stole from you. I'm gonna have to say I stole.
Thieves in the temple, man. Thieves in the temple.
The reason why I say safety, whatever you order, whatever you drink, his favorite signal is he doesn't talk. He give you heads up, like, because we had one person who didn't catch on, but the good part is you were very persistent in it. Like, you sure? I don't think. And then he clicked in. He was like, okay, let me order another one.
That's right, sure did.
Yes, he
sure
did.
He
Let
sure
me
did.
order another.
Let me get another one.
But thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And I think that's what's so important. And that's what I want everyone out there to know, that these are not just tours. These are life experiences that I want anyone. You don't have to be part of the African diaspora. You can be from France. You can be from the UK. Because those who came up in those same educational systems were just as miseducated as many of us were. And so I want people to have this experience for themselves, because now we can educate our own families. And there's nothing like firsthand knowledge, firsthand learning that you can take and you can show those pictures. And this is how we break down and dispel many of these myths that are out here about Africa and the descendants of Africa. So anyway, this is Jay coming to you once again from Accra, Ghana. Accra, Ghana. And make sure that you subscribe, like, and share. So much more on the way. And I want you to be a part of one of these maximum impact travel experiences as a part of connecting Africa to the African diaspora and vice versa. So again, until next time, be safe and take care.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on a children's level so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the adventures of Darren and Destiny.